Grind your vendors down, beat down your expenses, grind everybody you work with so you can take as much money as possible right to your bottom line, right? Wrong. Anthony Lamacchia here with Crushing in Real Estate, and I want to talk to you about how oftentimes that's the wrong philosophy. And I know this goes against conventional wisdom, and that's why I want to talk to you about it. Too often do people in business way overdo their grinding of other people that they work with. Folks, we all have to make money. If business partners and colleagues and vendors and the real estate company that you're at or the realtors in your company, if they're not making money, if it doesn't make financial sense for them, their service will wane and something will break. I want to talk to you about this because this is something that I know many, many people miss out on. And I also know that many realtors, many businesses, they overplay their hand too early. I want to tell you a story and then I'm going to explain what I mean by overplay their hand too early. A few weeks back, I called someone who owns a company that we do business with. They're somewhere in the United States. That narrows it down for you, right? And I said, hey, we started doing business with you about a year ago. And I distinctly remember you came to me with a certain number per month and we countered you and brought you down and said we just weren't comfortable spending that much money until you proved yourself to us. I said, now it's been a year and I was thinking you've more than proved yourself. So if you want to raise that monthly fee, go ahead. The person on the other end of the line said, wow, that's so nice of you to call. So nice of you to offer that. I don't know if I've heard this before. And honestly, I'm not even looking to raise you guys. You've been a great customer. It's been awesome working with you. It's helping us too. It's a two-way street. And I said, well, listen, if you don't raise us, great. But if you need to, go ahead because it's been a year and you've more than proved yourself. This person was elated, and I ended up finding out that I made this person's day, and I was happy. I felt good that I made that person's day. And I'm sure at some point in the next few months, they're going to raise our monthly charge because I made that phone call, and they're going to be comfortable doing it. And I've got news for you. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That's why I proactively made that call. Remember I did a Crush It video probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was sitting in my car, and I had a hat on, and I was talking about how people say, oh, you can't make money in the brokerage business. And I was talking about how it's not always about beating down your competition and beating down, well, it is about beating down your competition. It's not always about beating down your vendors and beating down those that you work with. And I told stories about how sometimes with contractors, we'll go to them and we'll say, hey, we know you didn't do good on that. You want us to kick in an extra couple grand? Do you want, let's make this work. My friends, that's why in our development company, our property management companies, we have the same bunch of contractors for years and years and years, and we have very little turnover. That's why in our company, we have the same management team for years and years, the same staff, the same agents. That's why we retain people. Now, you might be listening and say, I don't believe that. I'm a shrewd businessman. I grind everyone down. Well, congrats to you. You probably churn through people. And in the end, that costs you more money. It costs you more. You want people, just so you know, I want every agent in our company to make money. I want every manager in our company to make money. I want to make money. I want our vendors to make money. I want our colleagues, everybody we deal with, I want them to make money. Now let me get to the part that I was talking about where I said a lot of businesses overplay their hand too early. My friends, the business world is about leverage, okay? And what I find many businesses do, and I've seen this before with businesses right around me, is they get too aggressive with their vendors too early. It's okay to be aggressive. We do it too. But you've got to think about it. If you are 2% of their business and you're going to them and you're browbeating them and you're beating them down and beating them down, you don't have a lot of leverage. Wait a little bit. Wait till you're 10% of their business. Wait till you're 20% of their business. Now, I'm just making up numbers and making up percentages. But the point I'm getting at is what I see, I view a lot of people, they overplay their hand too early. And it makes the other side like, I don't even want to do business with this person. These people are unreasonable. When you do business with people, when you sign on with another company, you want them to be excited to work with you. You want them to look forward to helping you. You want them to have a feeling inside that they want to over-deliver for you. That's what you want. You also have to think about the type of product that you're buying. Are you buying a product? Are you buying a widget, a calculator? Or are you buying a service? If you're buying a service, that involves human interaction. That involves human beings working on things. It's even more important to make sure that the companies that you work with, the service businesses that you work with, they feel really good. When you're buying widgets, like this microphone, if we were buying them by the hundreds, those vendors you can be a little bit harder on because you're buying a widget. But when you're working with someone who's providing a service to your business, you've got to make sure those people are feeling good. And I'll tell you, I'll be totally honest, I wasn't this good about it 10, 15 years ago. I've learned it over my years. And even though I'm 40 years old, I have a lot of experience in business and more than 2 decades at this point. But I'll tell you, I've softened a little bit on it, and I've realized the importance of making the other side feel good. And now, this is something that came natural to me. I did it even years ago, but I'm better about it now. And I will tell you something else. This is the last piece. The bigger we get, the bigger companies that we work with, the bigger vendors. I deal with owners of companies more. Years ago, we dealt with an account executive. Now I deal with owners. I deal with presidents of companies. And you know what I have found? They have the same attitude. The people at the top tend to have the same attitude. We do business with a certain sports team, and the owner of that sports team I have a great deal of respect for. And clearly a very successful person, very wealthy business. And I remember being in a meeting with this person 3 years ago, and we negotiated the deal back and forth. There was a little bit of back and forth. And this person looked at me and said, "Do you feel good about this, though? I want to make sure you feel good about it." And that's a statement that I've said to people on occasion before that, but not often. But when this person said it to me, I said, that's interesting. He really cared about making sure I felt good about it. And that meant something to me. And I try to do that now with the vendors that we work with. So think about that in your business. Don't be so fast to beat everybody down and negotiate every last little penny, because you want to make sure that those you are working with, whether they are your broker, whether they are your agent, whether they are your vendor, whether they're some type of service business, the cleaning company that cleans your offices, I don't know what it is, but you want them feeling good, because if they feel good, they will do a better job. That's all, my friends. Happy home selling.